What's going on, everybody? It's TheNIdien, and I'm bringing you some Team Deathmatch here on the Noshahr Canals. And this is one of my favorite maps in Team Deathmatch, with the amount of levels it has, the maze of containers. It provides for some interesting games, and overall is just a lot of fun. Now, I have found a map that isn't very, I don't know, I just don't like it, especially only on TDM, though. It's one of those things. TDM, I think it's a bad TDM map. But on Rush and Conquest, it's really good, and that's that Tehran Highway. It seems like TDM is always, it just forms two battle lines, and you got one battle line on the opposite side of a brick wall, and you got another battle line on this side of the brick wall, which you can take down with RPGs. But it just seems like that's it. I've never really had any fun on that map, and I've played it dozens of times. And it's just one of those things that I found. It's kind of like my Antarctica Harbor on Battlefield Bad Company 2. So we'll see what goes, or not the Antarctica Harbor, the Atomic Desert. Sorry, but either way, that seems to be the map that I just don't like at the moment. All the other maps seem to be really well done. I've seen a few issues have popped up recently in Battlefield 3, and like I said, if I see something wrong, I'm going to say it. But the lag and everything was absolutely horrible. They have fixed that for the most part. I have had a few instances, but not nearly as bad as I have been getting with the quick match, and even going to the server browser like they wanted everybody to do, and go on the East Coast servers and West Coast, or just US-based servers, period. It was still doing it, and it was more prevalent in like when you were running around with jets and helicopters that you've seen, like the rubber banding. And I don't have any jet gameplay because I've got into a few times, but every time I have, it started the rubber band, and one minute I'd be flying just fine, next minute I'd find myself in the side of a mountain, or I'd hit a cell phone tower or a radio tower, and off I went into explosion. Didn't even get to eject. But so I haven't been able to actually get. I've been in I think jets maybe for a total of 10 or 12 minutes according to the battle log, with 0 kills, 0 points. Strictly due to that. I get up in the air. Not to mention that, just like Breaded Chicken brought to light, is I'm not exactly sure at this point, if you're new and you get in the jets and you don't have anything unlocked, you're in it for a world of hurt, because if there's somebody in the air that's got lock-on missiles, you're going down within a minute, and there's nothing you can do. You don't have any flares, you don't have any missiles to counter back on. You're just gonna go down, and it's one of those things. Hopefully they tweak out. My second concern is basically strictly off of TDM, and that's the random spawn issue. Seems to be pretty atrocious at times on certain maps. And you see me, I'm hanging out over here a lot because of the random spawns. I played a few games before this, and every time I ran over to the other side of the map, or wherever, or over on this side of the map, I was just getting crapped on by spawns all the time. And they came out as decent matches, but nothing, you're like, oh man, these spawns are killing me. And it's one of my concerns, because it's just like Black Ops when it first released, and people were literally spawning out of people and literally spawning right behind them. Like, it's like they have no danger code set in. It's just boom, you random spawn, and if you spawn in front of a group of enemies, that's what happens. That's why you chose random spawn. But that's pretty much the only option they give you in TDM. And what it does is just affect your gameplay. It doesn't really matter how good you are at the game. It just matters if you're going to get crapped on by the spawns or not. And if you don't get crapped on, you have your average games, and you have great games. If you do get crapped on them, you're going to have your average or below games. You're not going to have a great game because you just spawn, and within 0.3 seconds, you're dead. So it's a concern, and I think they need to evaluate their danger code quite a bit. But I have gone through and unlocked everything in the engineer tree, so as you can see, I'm using the assault tree, recon tree here and there, trying to unlock certain things and just go from there and pick out my second tree to start leveling up. But I'm really digging the assault tree at the moment. And what you see me running with too is the M320 grenade launcher. Now, this is one of those guns I seen when it was in this game that I really wanted to try out, because as we all know, Modern Warfare 3 hits here in just a couple days, so I bet you everybody's stoked about that. I'm actually looking forward to it because I hope they prove me wrong. I want to be proved wrong by Activision for once and have a good gaming experience with Call of Duty. So hopefully, that'll come to light. I know a bunch of people got the game early, and their take on the matter is on the game is kind of like a meh. It's okay, but it's, you know, they could have done more with the 2 years they've had to develop it, yada, yada, yada. But we'll see. You know, that's one of those things, like I've always said, a review is a review. It's an opinion from somebody else. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. And you just basically have to form your own opinions, because it just goes along with anything. There's movies that people said are horrible. I've watched it and thought it was one of the best movies I've ever seen. Same with video games, same with food, same with anything. So remember, reviews are opinions. Strictly that's it. There's nothing more of it. And go from there. But yeah, I wanted to use this M320 launcher because I know it's in Modern Warfare 3, and I wasn't exactly sure what it is. But what it comes out to be is like a 4 to 5 shot noob tube. It's not semi-automatic. At least in Battlefield, you got to reload it. I'm not exactly sure how they played it out in Modern Warfare, but I'm expecting close to the same thing. And we'll see how it goes. But taking OMA out of the game was kind of irrelevant if you're going to put in a 3 to 4, because I know they actually have more options than just that in Modern Warfare 3. But, you know, so taking OMA out was irrelevant, so they kind of counterbalance that by putting in a bunch of 4 to 5 shot noob tubes. So we'll see what happens there. But, you know, and then we got Skyrim a couple days later and all this other stuff that I talked about before. And I'm going to start doing some live comms here. Hopefully I can get one up today. I tried to do one this week, but everything was a little bit busy. But as soon as Modern Warfare 3 releases, that's when we're going to start kicking in our little, my schedule going, where I got Modern Warfare on Mondays, Battlefield 3 on Wednesdays, so on and so forth that I've talked about. And that's going to be coming up here shortly, because what's going to happen is Modern Warfare, I'm going to put a bunch of videos out on Tuesday, then right back to Battlefield at 3 on Wednesday, Skyrim comes out on Friday, so on and so forth. But that's what I got for you guys today. I got a live comm coming up today as well. So as always, guys, have a great day. Peace. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Skype, and Justin TV. You can also feel free to add me up on the PSN. My gamer tag is TheNIdien. And pop on over to the vid-through page, guys. We got a ton of directors, as you see above. All their links to their pages, and the vid-through page is going to be in the description below. But we got a lot going on over there, so stop on by, as well as the VSO Gamer channel. Check it out. I'm sure there's going to be something you guys like. So as always, have a great day.